Hey, I often get requests for more soft spoken, mental health related rambles, as I know that when I create these, they are often very popular, which for me is a weird one because I'm happy that obviously people are finding this content helpful, but especially with loneliness, I find that it's such a high number of people who need these types of loneliness rambles. And obviously for me, it's horrible to know that so many people are struggling with loneliness. But this year, of course, it's different to any other year. So much has changed, and it's understandable that many of us will be feeling a sense of loneliness, whether that's due to not physically being allowed to see people or human contact, because we all need human contact. So it's such an unfair situation that we're all in. But of course, there's nothing that we can do. All we can do is little things to help with our own mental health and those around us. And to me, I feel like it's more important than ever to just do everything you can to stay positive. And these things are so hard in a crazy world. Staying positive is so hard, but I would give you some of the little things I've been doing, some little tips, I guess, because I go through phases, and in those phases I can be depressed and just feel horrible and lonely, and then I'm like, no, get up and sort yourself out, girl. And I think that it's important to do that to yourself. So the fact that you are here listening to this means you are at least ready to make that move into being like, no, I'm not going to allow this feeling to affect my life so negatively. So if you're feeling lonely right now, you need an action plan, because it's not fair on yourself to allow yourself to just be unhappy. You have to look after yourself. And the thing is if you are feeling lonely, the likelihood is that the people around you are also feeling lonely at this current time of life. So really, these tips will not only help you, but help others who are in a similar situation. Now, one thing I would say is, if you're feeling lonely, of course, you need to just be able to put yourself out there more, in the sense of, if things have to be done virtually or at a distance, you got to make these things happen depending on where you are in the world and what your rules are. If you are feeling lonely, ask to FaceTime or Skype or Zoom or whatever you like to use, some friends or family or literally anyone. Just literally have a chat. So simple, but it's not simple in the current world. Me and my best friend, we send voice notes all the time. It's our little communication. And I always feel like after we spend, say, a few hours sending voice notes back and forth, I always just feel really happy. And you're laughing with someone virtually, you're telling each other stories about things that have been going on, you're catching up, and you're just feeling actual emotions about things rather than just passing the time. So, of course, if you are feeling lonely, virtual things and distanced are the way forward. If you have friends and family in your life and you are feeling lonely and you're not reaching out to them because you don't want to be a burden or you don't want to annoy them, trust me when I say they want to help you. If they knew how you were feeling and they knew that they had not been there for you, it would devastate them. They are your friends and family for a reason. Your friends are for a reason. Your family not so much. Your family are your family. But with that is the fact that your family is there. And you have to just say to yourself, remind yourself that you're not an annoyance. You are either a family member or a friend, and you should be getting this support from somewhere if you are feeling down and lonely. So your task is to reach out to at least one person, either a simple little voice note where you're just like, hey, this is what I've been up to. Now what have you been up to? Or a phone call, FaceTime and all that. Or if you're allowed to meet people outside still, whatever your rules are, plan to meet someone, go for a walk, whatever it may be. And one thing that I find, loneliness often goes hand in hand with depression and anxiety. You may agree, you may disagree, but personally I would say that one reason why you maybe don't reach out to people is because either A, you are depressed, you are feeling down, and you don't have almost the strength to possibly, have to actually go through with going outside or putting makeup on or getting ready. I get that. It's completely normal. I'm sure loads of us can relate to that. So even though you feel lonely and you want to reach out, you want to see and catch up, it's not that easy because it can be exhausting. And then also B, is if you have anxiety, you may get anxious about maybe they might, you might have to actually leave the house. Same really with depression, but just the more worrisome side. And obviously anxiety and depression are horrible, horrible things to have. But you need to take control of these things. Remember that you are you. You are in control of your body and your mind. You are stronger than you think. Within you, you have the ability to say, hell no, I am not going to be defeated by my mental health. I'm going to get up, get out there. And if you feel like you genuinely don't have someone to reach out to, and you feel just like, you just feel like you don't want to message someone and risk them not replying, whatever. If it is a fear of rejection, I would say you need to just think, screw it. Honestly, what's the worst that could happen? They say no. And that's their loss. So, you just need to be like in control of your life, basically. And just remember that you can do this. You're strong. And as hard as things may be sometimes, things always get better when you think of everything you've ever been through before and think of where you are now and all of these things that you've got through. You got to remember that all of your strengths within you. And in normal times, I would say in a loneliness ramble that you should go outside, and if you go to the shops, you should just be really polite to everyone whose path you cross, and just smile and say hello, and just interaction. One thing that I would say as well, if you're listening to this and you're not necessarily lonely, maybe you're just having a bad day, is remember, in times when someone is being polite and saying hello, that you may be the only person that they talk to that day if they are lonely. And your simple little polite conversation could change their whole mindset, just as theirs could change yours. And if you think if every single person heard that message and thought that this conversation could be a life-changing conversation, and all I'm doing is saying, yeah, the weather's nice, isn't it? Yeah, have a good day. Then everyone would be polite and everyone would help each other. I remember when I was young and I used to get the bus everywhere every day, and I always used to have elderly people come and talk to me, and they'd come and sit next to me and say, oh, you're alright, what are you doing, and just have a chat and tell me about their life and stuff. And I would, when I was really young, like a teenager, often we think, oh god, what have I got myself into here, like I just want to listen to my music and all that. And then the older I got, the more I realised that these people were probably lonely, and they were talking because they wanted that human connection. So now I always try to just kind of engage back with these types of people. So yeah, obviously in nowadays with the whole world situation, it's so different because interaction is harder, And obviously distance and everything makes it harder, but I still think that, like how I say loneliness goes hand in hand with anxiety and depression, if you are feeling lonely, you should really focus on your mental health and looking after yourself, because the world is not normal right now, and honestly all we can do is what we feel is best for ourselves. So if you have a lot of time off at the moment, try and use it productively. Go online, think of all of the things you've ever wanted to achieve. Like, for an example, I've always wanted to learn a second language, and I have been using the Duolingo app to learn French. And so that's what I do now. I do that. If I'm just kind of feeling lazy and bored, I'll be like, no, do something productive. So even if I'm just laying there feeling a bit down, at least I'm learning and it makes me feel productive. It means I can tick something off my to-do list, and that makes me feel happy. So think of your alternatives. Even down to if you wear makeup or if you like to do your hair, you could collect a playlist of YouTube videos, completely free to watch YouTube videos. You could just get a playlist of loads of tutorials and just learn loads of new hairstyles, learn loads of new makeup techniques. Or if you prefer, I don't know, DIY or something, you could just learn loads of tips. If you want to do a course, Google something and learn. I just think being productive will stop you from spiraling into this thought process of I'm alone or I'm sad or, just a huge negative spiral. Keeping busy. And then of course there's the obvious ones that everyone always says, and that's exercising, drinking water, meditating, and just generally trying to live as healthy lifestyle as possible. If you are struggling with mental health and depression, loneliness, I would strongly suggest you to try and switch out any kind of like alcohol use or whatever with something positive like exercise, or I make an amazing hot chocolate with marshmallows and spray cream, and I have one biscuit and then if I'm kind of craving having a drink of alcohol, I often think, no, go for the amazing hot chocolate, because it's still a treat. It will still make me feel like good and warm and happy, but I'll be able to go to bed at an appropriate time, wake up with no hangover and not feeling rubbish, and have another really productive day. So with you, I would say, I know it's weird, but if you're off work, or if you are furloughed, or if you are working from home, if you are going into work still, just try to make some sort of plan about how to stay positive, how to just carry on going, because you don't want to be in this negative mind space. You want to be in a positive, productive, happy place. So I would tell you, reach out to as many people as you can, even if it's just, commenting on your friends' pictures on Instagram and then being like, do you want to have a chat? These little steps can make a huge difference. And at this time in the world as well, with all this going on, it's the perfect time to reach out to people you haven't spoken to in a long time, friends who maybe you've drifted away from. There will never and has never been a better time to simply say to someone, how are you? How are things? Because this is a time where everyone knows the answers are never going to be amazing. There's always going to be downsides. So just remember that you are not alone. And if you feel lonely, just know it's completely normal in this time. Completely normal. And that you are strong enough and you can get through it. You can, make the first move into feeling better. So yeah, if I were you, I would try and just keep a positive mindset, keep productive, but also obviously allow some relaxation and some pampering, some self-care and self-love. Everyone always says about affirmations, and obviously I make videos or what are these, like recordings I guess, of affirmations all the time. And I think they help, to be honest. I think listening to positivity, just filling your mind with as much positivity as you can, just changes your mindset. So yeah, I hope you know that you are not alone, and that people do care about you, and that all you need to do is reach out. And you are not a burden. You are not a problem. It's completely normal to feel lonely right now. So it's just one of those things that a lot of us are experiencing. And if you feel like you're really struggling and you're really you don't know what to do, then call a helpline, speak to someone. Don't just, sit there feeling unhappy and not knowing what to do. There is so many things you can do. And you should know that this time will not last forever. Just like all the things you've managed to get through in the past, you'll get through this. You'll get through this time. And things will get so much better. So I hope that you're all feeling okay. I hope that you all know that everything will be okay. And just reach out to some people. Get yourself some sort of plan. And remember that you're not alone. Everything will be okay. So I hope that this could help you. Thank you for listening. Bye.